Good evening, my dear YouTube viewers. Today also we will continue the empiricism by highlighting the author's names. The first author is John Locke. John Locke's central idea is only from the actual experiences. What he understood, he mentioned in the book, that is an essay concerning the human understanding. Mind does not have the innate ideas, but it has innate faculty. Example are one is perception or perceiving, second one is remembering, third one is combining. The mind activities acts as a best resource for new class ideas or the new class state. And the experiences are two categories according to John Locke. At one hand, this idea of sensation, example, seeing, smelling, watching, sound, listening and touching like this, tasting like this. And another hand, the idea of reflecting. For this, thinking, based on that we will believe. So believing, thinking and believing. In the former one, that is the idea of sensation, it acts as very simple and passive, whereas in later one, that is the idea of reflection, is very complicated and active also. And also the idea of reflection creates awareness and mental impressions also, or experiences it will undergo. Next, there are two types of qualities. One is in the former one, that is in the sense of the idea of sensation, what we receive the gist, that is the smell, sound, sight and taste. Whereas in the second category, that is the idea of reflection, what we understand, that is bulk, that is heavy, more amount. Second one is hardness, it is not very soft. Third one is the volume, what it occupies, the volume. These 3 points we can understand. The extent of, John Locke said, the extent of knowledge is confined to limited, which comes deception and a simple notion of knowledge that perceives agreement and disagreement. And this John Locke is also gives a definition, that is one can easily reach the knowledge, but or before that one should have the clear idea, and also one should have the capacity to make the interconnections among the variables. By that we can perceive the agreement and disagreement, but it is not possible in all cases. Example, in particularly in tissue substances it is not possible. And also Mr. John Locke recommended significantly the epistemological should minimize the expectations or reduce the epistemological expectations. And John Locke ideas were criticized by Mr. Berkeley, who has written 2 books. One is Treatise Concerning the Principle of Human Knowledge. The second one is 3 Dialogues between Hylas and Philonous. And John Locke ideas will also proposed supported by Mr. Hume, who used his ideas in a logical manner. And also he said, all thoughts are built up in simple and separate impressions. Sorry. Once again we will review the subject matter. Mr. John Locke stated his central idea is from actual or the real experiences. This was mentioned in his book and essays concerning the human understanding. Mind does not have the innate ideas, but it has the inner faculties. Those are perceiving, remembering, and combining. And mind activities are act as resources for new class ideas. And John Locke said there are two types of experiences. At one hand, the idea of sensation, example, seeing, listening, tasting and talking and smelling and touching. And another hand, the idea of reflection, that is thinking and believing. In the former one, that is the idea of sensation, its work is very passive and simple. In the later one, that is the idea of reflection, this is very complicated and active. This idea of reflection creates awareness as well as mental experiences. And John Locke is also told there are two qualities. In primary quality is that is noticed in ideas of sensation, that is sight, sound, smell and taste. And in the second quality is bulk, that is more. Second one is hardness. Third one is volume, space occupying. And he wants to say extent of knowledge is confined to limited, which comes through the deception and the simple notion of knowledge, that is perception is agreement or disagreement. John Locke also gives an definition. One can easily reach the goal or the knowledge, but before that one should have the clear idea, and also one should have the capacity to do the interconnections among the variables, by that easily perceive the agreement and disagreement. But it never happens for all things. Example, particularly in tissue substances. Even Mr. John Locke recommended significantly reduced the epistemological expectations. The John Locke was criticized by Mr. Berkeley, who has written two books. One is Treatise Concerning the Principles of Human Knowledge, and another one is another one is Three Dialogues between the Hylas and Phinolas. At the same time, he was also supported that his ideas is also recommended by Mr. Hume, who used his knowledge, his idea in order to understand the logical meaning or logical understanding in a logical manner. He said that all thoughts are built up in a simple and separate impressions. By this, today's lecture is completed. This is Bindu taking leave from the YouTube platform. Good night.